black milk of daybreak. We drink you at night. We drink you at midday. Death is a master from Germany. We drink you at evening and morning. We drink and we drink. This death is a master aus Deutschland. His eye, it is blue. He shoots you with shot made of lead, shoots you level and true. A man lives in the house. Your golden hair, Margareta. He looses his hounds on us, grants us a grave in the air. He plays with his vipers and daydreams. Der Tod ist ein Meister aus Deutschland. Your golden hair, Margareta. Your ashen hair, Shulamit.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I know that I'm right in saying that in times to come, we shall tell our children how on this day, 24th of July, 1967, in Freiburg, in the old heart of Germany, we saw and heard the greatest poet of the age, Paul Celan, read to us. A momentous evening, Herr Celan.
Thank you, Professor.
There's someone who wishes to meet you.
Oh, yes?
Will you come this way? Herr Celan, Dr. Martin Heidegger, Dr. Paul Celan.
Ah, great honor, Herr Celan.
Likewise, Herr Doctor.
I know your poetry very well, of course. It is of great interest to me. I once wrote that all of my work was no more than an effort to say philosophically what Rilke had already said poetically. I might add your name to his in that formulation.
You flatter me, Doctor.
No. I mean no flattery, only... It seems the photographer wishes to take our portrait together.
No. No, please, I have an aversion to being photographed.
Yes, of course. I understand. And your health has improved, yes. We had heard that you were in hospital.
I was in a Swiss clinic. I suffer from depression and other things. I have bad dreams, bad memories.
You should come to the mountains. In such pure air up there, the mind finds a higher clarity.
You have heard of Dr. Heidegger's famous hut at Todtnauberg, of course.
Of course.
Oh, it would be an honor for me to welcome you to Todtnauberg for a visit. Perhaps, if you have time, tomorrow?
I think not. I must return to Paris.
Well, if you wish to stay a little longer, we can make the arrangements, of course.
Oh, Todtnauberg is where I wrote the bulk of Being and Time. It would mean much to me if the greatest German poet of the age should visit that birthplace.
I'm not German, Herr Doctor.
But you write in the German language. That is our common homeland, yours and mine.
I'd be happy to drive you up to Todtnauberg in the morning, Herr Celan, if you wish. Oh, we're almost there. I confess, Herr Celan, I was a little surprised that you agreed to come up here.
So was I. I know, of course, why he's so eager for me to visit him in his mountain fastness. It's just like with the photographer last night. He wants to be seen with me. The Jew poet Celan, survivor of the camps, embraces Heidegger, the former Nazi.
Then why...
I don't know. Because, despite everything, he's a great philosopher. His concerns echo mine. We're both dwellers in the house of language. And because I'm curious to hear if he'll offer an account of himself.
He has never spoken in public about his Nazi past, not a word.
But perhaps to me, he'll utter that word. We shall see.
Welcome, Herr Celan. Here it is. My famous hut. Not very prepossessing, I'm afraid.
I envy you such a place. In my apartment where I live in Paris, I frequently feel I'm suffocating.
Oh, Professor, you will stay a while?
Oh, no, thank you, Doctor. I must get back. Herr Celan, I'll return this evening at 6, shall we say?
6 will be fine.
Enjoy your visit, Herr Doctor.
Thank you, Baumann. Well, let me show you my little kingdom. I bought the plot of land here in 1922, or what was it, 21. So I've been a presence in this clearing for 45 years. Oh, Lord, so long. My wife oversaw all of the building. She's immensely practical, something I am not.
It's all very beautiful. Very beautiful and simple.
When I secured the professorship at Marburg, I knew I'd need a place to escape to. Oh, the work was so intense. I was inventing a new way of philosophizing, returning to basics and throwing out 2.5 millennia of metaphysical dross.
In you, thinking has come alive again. And in you, I too am alive.
I'm sorry. What was that?
You were speaking of Marburg, your early days there.
Yes. Often now the past seems more real to me than the present. It is the way with all old men. Those trees are mine on the slope.
Yeah.
And this is my well, you see, with the wooden star above it. Now, here. Please. History will remember this day, Celan.
And what will history's judgment be, I wonder?
What will you take? Oh, there is coffee, and I think somewhere there's even a bottle of schnapps.
Oh, a glass of water from the well, perhaps?
Oh, I'll fetch it.
Thank you.
The taste of the mountains, yes.
And of the deeps. I wanted to send you one of my poems. When I wrote it, I thought of it again when I saw the wooden star over the well. Soul-stricken threads, glass trace rolled backwards, and now filmed white by the eyes thou on a steady star above you.
Oh, I would have been honored to have had a poem straight from your hand. Now, do sit. Sit here, by the window. Where we can see the mountains. Later, perhaps, we might take a walk up on the moorland.
There are so many things we may not talk about. It's impossible to know where not to begin.
You are, as ever, a master of the forceful negative. And nothing we were, are now, and ever shall be blooming, the nothing, the no one's rose. Very beautiful. Very moving. But tell me, what things are they that we may not mention?
When they built the camp at Buchenwald, the SS were careful to preserve Goethe's famous favorite oak tree on the site. You have a great feeling for culture, you Germans.
Yes. Yes, you are right. The water tastes of the deeps. I was never an anti-Semite, you know. I defy anyone to find a single word anywhere in my writings to indicate otherwise. I see you are skeptical. You are thinking a man may harbor in his heart things he will never allow himself to say. But we're men of the word, you and I. We know the importance of what is said and not said, and the distinction between the two.
Are you a man of your word, Herr Doctor?
I know. You never said you would. But I trusted you and hoped...
If you mean, have I lied? I'll answer you what Nietzsche said. There are no facts, only interpretations.
6 million is a fact. 6 million facts. Are they to be denied?
There is a young lady to see you, Herr Professor.
No.
Hannah Arendt.
Yes, sure. Fräulein Arendt. Oh, sit, please.
Thank you.
You wish to see me?
I'd like to take your philosophy course.
I see. Well, I've looked at your qualifications. I'm impressed. You already have a sound knowledge of Kant. It seems you have read Kierkegaard. You've read my colleagues, Professor Husserl and Karl Jaspers. You're fluent in Greek and Latin. Oh, I see. No impediment to your becoming my student.
I spoke to your colleague, Professor Bultmann. I informed him that I'm Jewish and said that if I were to take up his classes, there must be no anti-Semitic remarks from anyone, or I would walk out immediately.
Did you now?
The professor was very understanding. My friend Gunther Stern told me of his encounter with your wife.
Oh. What encounter was that?
It was at your place in the mountains at
Todtnauberg?
Yes. There was a party, perhaps a housewarming. Everything was friendly and gay, my friend said, until Frau Heidegger asked him if he would like to join the Nazi youth group here in Marburg. When he told her he was a Jew, she turned away and would not speak to him again.
My wife is a very fine woman, but, like all of us, she has her blind spots. Where are you living?
I have an attic room in Hohenstrasse.
You live alone?
There's a mouse who's befriended me. We keep each other company.
Is he your only friend, this mouse?
Well, there are some people here at the university I know from my days at home in Königsburg. Otherwise...
You are a solitary, I think. That's good. We have a great deal of work ahead of us, my dear Fräulein Arendt. The crisis in German philosophy is acute. On the one hand, there are the materialists, the positivists, the empiricists. On the other, the neo-Kantians, who are particularly well entrenched here at Marburg. I intend to flush them out, all of them. Our third way will be a return to essentials. What's needed is a new mode of thought, a passionate thinking.
That's the rumour that attracted so many of us here to Marburg. The rumour of a teacher in whom thinking has come alive again.
As I say, a great task lies before us. Man has left the house of being and become lost. We must find the way back inside again. The Greeks, as always, will set us on the right road. I welcome you as a traveller along that road.
Thank you, Herr Professor. I shall try my best to keep pace with you.
Edwin Fischer. A very great pianist. A great artist. Do you play, Herr Jemma?
No. A little.
But you know your music. Your great poem, Death Fugue, is a masterpiece of musical concentration and intensity.
It's been criticized for those very qualities.
Oh?
I mean, for its artistry. People say you can't make art out of the Holocaust. That it's a thing beyond art.
That's Adorno. What was it he said? To write poetry after Auschwitz is barbaric? Typical Bolshevist thinking. You have refuted him.
Have I? I wonder. I almost met him once, Adorno. I was in Zils Maria with my wife and my little son. Adorno was to be there, but we left and returned to Paris before he arrived. Why did I avoid him? I don't know.
He branded my philosophy as fascist. I don't know which is worse, the characterization itself or the shallowness of the mind that formulated it. He attacks me specifically in that book of his that's just come out. What's he called?
The Jargon of Authenticity.
That's it. A total misunderstanding of my thinking and my position. Jargon? Ha! He should know, he and his fellow travelers in that so-called Frankfurt school.
And yet, in his strictures on modern-day technology, he can sound remarkably like you.
Nonsense! Adorno is a fool and a coward who sold himself to the Americans, like his pal Herbert Marcuse, my one-time pupil. Don't you talk to me of Adorno. His real name is Wiesengrund. Did you know that? Why did he change it?
He took his mother's maiden name.
Yes, but why? What was it in the sound of Wiesengrund that he disliked?
He never denied his Jewish origin.
A charlatan. Oh. Forgive me. I'm overwrought. You'll understand, I hope, something of the causes of my bitterness.
I'm not sure, Herr Doctor, why I agreed to come here today. I suppose, foolishly no doubt, I'd hoped for a word of explanation from you. Even maybe a word of apology.
I have given an interview to Der Spiegel to be published after my death. The interviewer, too, spoke of an apology. I said to him, I would be prepared to apologize for my dealings with the Nazis, only if Hitler could be brought back from the dead to apologize to me.
Let me ask you this, then. When did you realize how wrong you had been? You joined the Nazi party in, 1933, at the very beginning, and I've read that you were still paying your party dues as late as 1945. In your inaugural address as rector at Freiburg in that fateful year, 1933, you praised Hitler and the National Socialists. You introduced Nazi slogans and salutes into university classes. You even gave classes yourself dressed in full Nazi regalia. You removed Husserl's name from the dedication page of Being and Time because he was a Jew and banned him from entering the university.
A lie! I never closed the door against him.
But you let him go adrift, into obscurity and isolation. You made no attempt to contact him, who had been your mentor and your friend. It broke his heart. Do you feel no guilt for these things?
Guilt? Guilt? Don't talk to me of guilt. Guilt. Guilt is the self-abuse of a liberal and degenerate democracy. Now listen. Let me try to explain to you how it was. I saw in the revolution that the National Socialists brought about in 1933 a chance at last to break out of the mechanization and soullessness of the modern German state and find again the sustenance of our ancient roots lying deep in the German soil.
For God's sake.
No, wait. Indulge me in my rhetoric. I'm trying not to exonerate myself, but to explain, so that you might understand. This is how I thought. This was the essence of my philosophy. Yes, I recognized the failings of many of the leaders, but I resolved that it was a matter of holding out for long enough, and salvation would come. But the liberals, the educated gentlemen surrounding me, the tenured professors who were content to churn out the same old centuries-old sweaty metaphysics and call it philosophy, they held themselves aloof, above the struggle, until it was too late. If those gentlemen had not been too refined to get involved, everything would have been different. But instead I was entirely alone. And where were the likes of Herr Wiesengrund, Adorno, in America, that pigsty swilling with the Yanks?
You know, I too changed my name. My family was called Antje.
Why? Why did you give yourself a new name?
Do you know, I can't remember.
It's falling, Mother. Snow in the Ukraine. The Saviour's crown, 1,000 grains of grief.
June the 27th, 1942. A Saturday. I went with my friends Ruth Lackner and Emanuel Weissglass to Emanuel's house, and we stayed there overnight. There was a curfew. Ruth said I would be shot if I tried to go home. In the end, Emanuel had to hold me back by force. In the morning, when I arrived home, It was no longer home. The house was deserted. The front door was sealed, and my mother and father were gone. It wasn't until years later that I learned what had become of them. They were taken in a transport east to Transnistria. 5 days in the heat of high summer, packed in cattle trucks across the Dniester into the Ukraine. They were put to work at road mending, in gravel pits. My father died from typhus in the autumn of that year, and in the winter, my mother was shot, being unfit for work.
And you? How did you survive?
I was drafted into a work battalion organized by the Jewish Council, and I was sent to a labor camp run by the Romanian army and the Germans.
And what was the work you did there?
Shoveling.
And
I survived. The Red Army was driving westwards, and in their wake I got back to Chernovitz. God knows how, I remember so little of that time. What I do recall is a dream that I had, over and over. I have it still sometimes. I'm standing outside one of the camps. It's afternoon, the light is pearl grey. I can see the lines of workers in the distance, the guards with their guns and their clubs. I can see the smoke from the chimneys. I'm at the perimeter wire, and my father is on the other side. I put my fingers through the wire, and my father clutches them. He's smiling tenderly and nodding, not saying anything. I have the bitter sense of being forgiven. I'm not sure for what exactly, except that it's something great and terrible. Then suddenly there's a guard there. I can see his face, young and fresh. Without warning, the guard bites my hand like a dog, hard in the flesh, here at the side, and I pull it back quickly and let go. I let Pappy's hand go, and I run away.
Your people have suffered too much. Too much.
My people? Could they not be yours, too?
I've said it already. I was never an anti-Semite.
Being not against is not the same thing as being for.
I did what I could. There were students I helped, colleagues I protected.
You abandoned Husserl. You offered no helping hand to Jaspers.
What? Like you? As in your dream, you mean? I withdrew my hand and ran away. I met him first in 1922, I think. He invited me to stay at his home in Heidelberg. Those 8 summer days we spent together were some of the most important days of my life. I remember Jasper saying, "We don't know yet ourselves what it is we want. We're both carried along by a knowledge that doesn't yet explicitly exist. We were making everything over."
Heidegger, my dear fellow, give me your hand. You're welcome to Heidelberg.
Herr Professor.
Oh, please call me Jaspers. By the end of your stay, who knows, you may be calling me Karl. Unless, of course, we should fall to quarrelling.
I'm sure we shall not.
Come in.
What was marvelous was that each of us knew what the other was talking about, even if we didn't yet ourselves understand exactly what it was we were saying. For me, the subject of the philosophical question is human existence. The question, that is the question of the character of being.
Have some more wine. When you speak of being, my dear Martin, I am troubled by the largeness you give to the word. It has, if you'll forgive me, a religious overtone.
No doubt it has. Don't forget, I spent a year with the Jesuits studying for the priesthood before I realized my true way was the way of philosophy. But God has never ceased to goad me.
Then being, like God, may have an autonomous existence.
Oh, certainly, there can be being without beings. Or not, as the case may be. Forgive me, Karl. These things are so new, so difficult. Sometimes it seems to me I'm speaking Chinese. But all the same, what must my students make of me? Hannah.
Don't speak. Kiss me.
My darling girl.
Where were you? You were so long in coming.
Oh, Elfrida wanted me to do something. What does it matter? Sometimes I think she suspects.
Come, sit with me on the bed. You mustn't worry so. Your wife will never know, I promise.
How can you promise such a thing? Marburg is so small. It's a hothouse in which everyone watches everyone else.
Don't you love me?
Of course, of course. Of course I love you. But Hannah, my darling, look, I'm twice your age. I'm a married man with 2 small sons. And you are my student. If the authorities should come to hear that you and I are...
Lovers, Martin. Lovers is the word you can't bring yourself to say.
Oh, forgive me. You're wearing your green dress. That's what your fellow students call you, you know. The green one. They're all in love with you. And I am too. Hopelessly.
Hopelessly. Yes.
Where's your friend in Mass today?
I've already fed him. He particularly likes black bread. I call him Heraclitus. I'm sorry. I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
Come, my green one, come to my arms. I sent Hannah Arendt to Jaspers at Heidelberg to be his pupil. Years afterwards, she said to me how fortunate she was to have studied with Germany's 2 greatest philosophers. By then, of course, after the war, he had become Swiss. Karl Jaspers, the magician of Basel. Whereas I was the sorcerer's disgraced apprentice.
When did you break with him?
Karl, let us walk. The weather won't last. The sky is darkening. I never broke with him, or him with me. We drifted asunder.
What happened?
Oh, it's always difficult. He had been dismissed from his post and prohibited from publishing. He was married to a Jew, you see. He wrote to me, "My soul has fallen silent." And then a couple of years before the war, I was long out of favor myself with the powers that be. No longer a useful idiot, I suppose. What's that?
It's arnica.
Huh?
Good for bruises. Oh, and here's eye brights. Scrofulariaceae, a cure for the eyes. Mother Nature's pharmacopoeia.
You even know the Latin names. I'm impressed.
How with this rage shall beauty hold a plea whose action is no stronger than a flower? Shakespeare, the sonnets. Hard to get into German.
There was always an edge of rivalry between Jaspers and me, for all the depth of our early friendship. In 1930, I was offered a professorship at Berlin that he had coveted. It was told in the wound that I felt secure enough to turn it down and stay in Freiburg instead.
Did you see him after you joined the party?
We corresponded infrequently. My stance puzzled him. He couldn't grasp the potential there was in the National Socialist Revolution. He wasn't a real philosopher, you see. He came to philosophy through psychiatry, that mambo-jumbo. He couldn't grasp the purity of my stand, couldn't see as I did the chance there was for a radical new beginning. For me at that time, The only worthwhile philosophy was a philosophy that was of its time. A philosophy, I mean, that was in control of its time.
Do you still think that?
No. No. The moment of opportunity was past before people realized. Then came the great betrayal and the inevitable debacle. Hitler and his toadies, they were unworthy of us. Now, everything is lost, and the great evil is spreading wider and wider around us, to the east and to the west. And the Moloch of technology is devouring us. Only a god could save us now.
Well, you tried appealing to a god, and he betrayed you, as you say.
He was a false god.
Or an idol.
There's a storm coming. We should go back.
I can't continue like this. Meeting in secret, in seedy hotels, in anonymous towns. It's killing me.
What can I do, Elfrida?
Stop! Don't speak that name. I've asked you before.
I'm sorry. I can't abandon her, never.
I know you never said you would. But I trusted you and hoped in secret. Well, how goes the great work?
I finished the first part. It's to be published soon. The title is Being and Time.
You'll have a great success.
You've been my muse, Hannah. I couldn't have done it without you.
Will you put my name in it?
I've dedicated it to herself in friendship and admiration.
So the muse must remain silent. Silent and hidden.
Here we are. There. Drink, it'll warm you.
Thank you.
So, what have you salvaged from the storm?
Well, there's wild orchid, and Turk's cap, eyebright, some pinks, Dianthus superbus, and arnica.
For your bruises.
I'll take them back with me to Paris. And I must get ready. Professor Baumann will be here, and I need to pack for the train.
I tried to see him, Vespers, afterwards. It was 1950, and he was making his triumphant way down the Rhine to lecture in his old place in Heidelberg. I said I would come to the railway station as his train was passing through. If only that we might shake hands through the window. He had already taken his revenge on me, although I didn't know it at the time. In December 1945, when everything was terrible, I wrote asking him for his intervention in my attempt to be reinstated in the Faculty of Philosophy at Freiburg. He intervened all right, with a long letter to one of the members of the commission the faculty had set up to examine my case, in which, among other pretty things, he called me an earnest nihilist and a mystagogue cum sorcerer.
Heidegger's mode of thinking, which seems to me to be fundamentally unfree, dictatorial, and uncommunicative, would have a very damaging effect on students at the present time. And the mode of thinking itself seems to me more important than the actual content of political judgments, whose aggressiveness can easily be channeled in other directions. Until such time as a genuine rebirth.
This is the Basel train, yes?
Yes, sir.
You're sure?
It's the Basel train, all right.
He recommended I be given a pension, but not a teaching post. He quoted Max Weber. Children who stick their fingers into the wheel of world history are going to get them broken.
You could have gone to him. Surely he wouldn't have refused to see you.
I couldn't. I wrote to him. I said the reason I had not set foot in this house again after 1933 was that I was simply too ashamed. There, is that not enough for you? I was ashamed.
Shame is not guilt. One can be ashamed of an action and still believe it to have been a right action.
You are relentless, Gerard.
It's a quality we have, we Jews.
I could declare my guilt. I could apologize to the world, and I would be accepted back with open arms into the brotherhood of man. But it would be a lie. I joined the National Socialist Party because I believed it was going to save us. I quickly saw my mistake. I resigned as rector at Freiburg after only a year in the post. But it was the leaders and not the politics that were wrong. How can I feel guilt for taking what I thought was the right course? A mistake is not something one feels guilt for. Shame, perhaps, but not guilt.
You supped with the devil. It was a bitter feast.
Frau Arendt, there is a gentleman to see you.
Yes. Show him to the table, please.
My dear Hannah.
Martin, thank you for coming.
Well, how can I not? When I got your note saying that you were here.
Sit, please. Will you take something? A coffee?
No, nothing, thank you, Hannah.
How strange. Meeting like this. It's 17 years and a world war since we saw each other last.
You've been traveling?
Yes. I wanted to see Germany for myself. The devastation. I'm shocked.
Yes, we're in a sorry state.
No, Martin. What shocks me is the attitude of the people. Their self-pity, their refusal to confront honestly what's happened to them, and the reasons for it. Everywhere I encounter either apathy or a ridiculous devotion to hard work, as if you can work yourself out of your crimes. The intellectuals are as bad as the common people. The same tired notions are clinging to old, worn-out ideas. You've lost yourselves, Martin. You've given up your soul. Mephistopheles has claimed his side of the bargain.
You don't know what it was like, Hannah. You weren't here.
So, you too.
Huh?
Self-pitying, self-justifying. Oh yes, I can see it in your eye. In your hangdog look.
I apologize for the way I treated you. You were a girl, and I betrayed your trust.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Martin, I don't care about any of that. It's 25 years ago. What matters to me is what you did afterwards, the beasts you threw in your lot with. How could you?
You believed as strongly as I did there must be a change, that the rot must be cleared away and a new beginning made. We needed saving.
And you thought Hitler would be Germany's saviour? I tell people who attack you, oh, no, he was not a Nazi. He was too primitive for that. He lived in his own primordial world of thought. But I'm not sure I believe it, even as I'm saying it.
I'm touched that you defend me.
I can think of no one more in need of defending.
I asked her to come to the house. I wanted her to meet Elfrida.
And did she come?
Oh, yes. Oh, frightful scene. Rancor, bitterness, anti-Semitic taunts. My wife, poor woman, was insane with jealousy and hating herself for it. Yet, when Hannah was leaving, they embraced. The subject of all my philosophizing is the strangeness of human existence. You know that wonderful line of Graber's? Only once in the world, and of all things, as a plumber in Detmold. The great systematizers, the Kants and the Hegels, tried to unstrange this strangeness by hiding it inside their cavernous and empty systems, which is why I despise them. The life of ordinary men in their ordinary days, that is what I sought to illuminate and know, and to give this illumination and this knowledge back to men so they might begin again to live, again in light and truth. We're thrown into the world naked, under a pitiless sky. Only by seizing our fate and acting in the full acceptance of our predicament can we be said to live authentically.
But why the Nazis? Why their system?
Because of their tragic affirmation of death. Death is the salient fact of human existence. Death stands beside the midwife and takes the infant from her hand, saying, "Come with me, for I am the giver of life." Everything we are and do takes its savor from the knowledge of death. That's our tragedy. And our glory. Existence. Dasein, being there, is a process, and that process is time. And time for each one of us has an end. Death leads us into the wilderness of the future. Our only guide.
Der Tod ist ein Meister aus Deutschland.
It's Barman. Our time is up, Herr Celan. The prison visit is at an end.
The key to the cell door is in your own hand.
Will you, sign my visitor's book?
Of course. Herr Doctor? I shall remember this day.
As will I.
Goodbye.
Safe journey. Now, what did he write? Into the hut book, looking towards the well star with hope for a coming word in the heart. On July 25th, 1967, Paul Celan.
Arnica, eye bright, the drink from the well with the star die on top. In the hut, into the book, whose name did it take in before mine? The line written into this book about a hope today, for a thinker's undelayed coming word in the heart.
In Todtnauberg by John Banville. Heidegger was played by Joss Ackland, Paul Celan was Nicholas Farrell, Hannah Arendt was Gemma Redgrave, and Gerhard Baumann was James Greene. Karl Jaspers was Gerard Murphy, and the secretary was played by Michelle Sims. Todtnauberg was recorded in Belfast and directed by Gemma McMullan.